Dylan. He's so close.
Hello? Can you hear me? Jesse. Are you there, Jesse?
Emily? He's gone. Dylan isn't here. He might be nearby. Or maybe the hiss got to him. I don't know.
Jesse, listen. Dylan's here. With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way. We need to get back. I have to see my brother.
All right, I won't take up too much of your time today, Dylan. Like I said, I want to talk about Jesse, your sister.
What about it?
I'm just going to get your perspective. What do you think of her? What kind of person is she? That sort of thing.
I adored my sister. When I was little, I mean. God. She didn't care about me. She always wanted to be out on her own, seeing the world. She said so. She got you.
resonance emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I could arrange. But how did Dillon create it?
It's happening. After all these years, Dillon is here. But am I too late? How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the Hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother. Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
Oh my god, did she have to write everything in her made-up gibberish code? Fuck. I don't think I ever told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once. Did the whole boot camp thing. Even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point. My own ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the Hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the Hiss to get them. Could you find him for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay Hiss. What's the deal with BlackRock?
Oh, fuck. Don't get me started on BlackRock. You know, ever since research found out that it blocks paranatural stuff, they have just been parading dangerous materials in and out of the fucking quarry. Fucking lab coats, man. Love making my job harder.
Sounds like there's some tension between departments.
Still, at least the quarry's got a good view of the night sky. You know, me and Salvador used to have after-work beers down there.
You're security, right? Do you work with Rangers?
Not often. Rangers are specially trained in threshold reconnaissance and ground zero AWE response. Security is more interested in the dangers inside the Bureau.
They must see some weird stuff out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, every week they are tackling things that were previously unknown to the human experience. Most Rangers, they retire due to cognitive collapse. I looked up the medical definition. Not fun.
What do you know about Dr. Darling?
About as much as anybody, I guess. Head of research, loves to hear himself talk. All of those science types absolutely do. Now he's been acting a little bit psycho recently. Although HR told me not to use that word, so...
Everyone thinks finding Darling will lead us to the answers. But if he's completely lost it, then what help could he be? How does the Bureau handle thresholds?
Handle might be a bit of an optimistic way to put it. Marshall sends her rangers in to map them, check growth rates, locate epicenters, take samples, measure stuff, basically.
Sounds like he's done his homework.
Now, down in maintenance, thresholds are used just like any other tool. The lab coats mine black rock from one, maintenance siphons water from another. We use it for pretty much everything, except drinking.
Why don't you drink it? Do I even want to know?
Yeah, a lot of time we find these little chunks in it. It's pretty gross.
I didn't want to know. What do you think of Marshall?
Marshall? Marshall's a fucking badass. Rangers could not ask for a better leader. She's a little, you know, intense, but given the stuff she's seen, I'm not surprised. She does have a bad habit of disappearing, though.
Where does she go?
Last time she vanished, I did some digging into the security logs. I found camera footage of her entering the quarry. She was down there alone for days. Now, typically that's not allowed, but Marshall is kind of above the rules.
I wonder what she finds so interesting in the quarry. I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only... Oh, my God. Did she have to write everything in her made-up gibberish code? Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit. God.
Marshall abandons us. I'm sick of no one telling us what's going on.
Information's always been on a need-to-know basis. What do you know about this Arish guy?
I heard some rangers saying he saved them in maintenance. They were attacked by a new kind of hiss, and Arish got them out.
All right, but still, a security guard and rangers? I don't know if I like taking orders from them all. Did you see that hiss they marched through here? Why the fuck didn't we put a bullet in that thing's head?
I heard it's the director's brother. Would you shoot your brother?
That's no one's brother anymore. He's the enemy, plain and simple.
You are a worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You've always been in there. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Worm through time. The thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. You are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunder's home distorts you.
That's Dillon. Can you hear me? Oh, come on, Dillon. I'm here. I found you.
You've always been in there. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dilan Feyden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dillon. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please. Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You! You came in through the hole in you! We let you in, you've always been here! The only truth! A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy!
Stop it!
Orange peel!
Shit! Shit! He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In Ordinary. In the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. but she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years. After the song, time for applause. We build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home. The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny. I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet. You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes. White pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror, the inverted is made right. Leave your inside by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You've always been here. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our heart, but you forget. This is you are a worm through time.
Why haven't we dissected that freak mutation we locked up? We could learn so much from this.
Of course, if you disagree, you can always go tell him.
No, that's fine. Sure, we can find a more constructive.
Stepping to the FBC, there's lots to do, there's lots to read, but don't touch and don't scream much. Let's join the Thresher Kids. Let's join the Thresher Kids.
I can see you're upset, Meg. Why don't you tell Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
I wish things had gone differently in ordinary for us. Wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will. Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector. They studied what happened in ordinary here. That's the place to start looking. Dylan and I were both prime candidates. Experiments. There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby. Something's blocking it.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions. Or die trying.
I know they're lying! Now I warned you about the language, Colin.
See what they have on ordinary. It's all here. Our home, our school, the woods, the dump. slide projector in the dump outside town. Did they recreate that too? Is that where they keep it? They say when you visit your childhood home, everything feels small. Like a miniature, not real. They got that right.
You mentioned a poem last time we talked. By Thomas Zane?
Yes. Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated.
I looked the poem up. Only I couldn't find any poet by that name. I did find a European filmmaker who moved here in the 60s, named Thomas Zane. What? Don't worry about it. It suits you very well.
Moved the whole landfill here in the middle of New York, and nobody saw a thing. Pretty unbelievable.
Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there. That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to... I don't know when.
Darling took the projector to the research sector. He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research. That's where we go next.